Some fans are saying this is, and it may be my favorite episode of The Mandalorian. Actually, I don't see how you can't love this episode unless you work for PETA. Hey guys, it's Tom. How you doing? I know I've done a lot of reactions in the past, but I feel like I really want to do my recaps of The Mandalorian because I think it's the best Star Wars that's been out in ages since I was a kid. Not that I don't like the new stuff, I really do. Everyone knows I'm a fan of the sequel trilogy. I like the prequels too, and I grew up with the old trilogy. I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. So I've been around a long time. But The Mandalorian has me really excited, and I love the explosive way that they kicked off Season 2. So I like the fact that they're using the chapter numbers. They're continuing with those. It's not just Season 2, Episode 1, it's Chapter 9. Because I feel like when we can see the entire series and look at it as a whole, we can go back and you feel like it's part of this big story. It's not just these different scattered stories throughout. But I do like the side stories. That's fine with me. I like it. The thing I love about this show is I feel like when I was a kid, there was Battlestar Galactica, the old one, Buck Rogers, and you feel like every week there was this great episode. There was an adventure somewhere here and there, but all of them kind of tied into a larger story around it, and I feel that way with The Mandalorian. As much as I enjoy the sequel trilogy movies, I feel that the great thing about a TV show is that you have all this time to just let these characters develop. You don't have to rush things, so I'm really enjoying it. Now, the title The Marshal was the only thing that I saw before this episode. I didn't read any spoilers. I didn't go online. I cut myself off from the internet that day. I got together with some family to watch it. And I was hoping, with what I do know, I haven't read all of the new canon novels, but I've read some, and I know a lot of the history that they have in them. So when I saw the title The Marshal, and I kind of thought, I wonder if they're going to actually tie in some of those canon characters, and I was not disappointed. One thing I have to say, and again, you've probably seen so many breakdowns of Easter eggs and stuff, but I just love Filoni and Favreau's attention to detail. There's so many Easter eggs, and I feel the great thing about it, I know like Lucas would insert Boba Fett in A New Hope. There was the Millennium Falcon in Episode 3 briefly. And, it would be kind of cool to see those Easter eggs and pick them out and talk. But I feel that the Easter eggs and some of the references in The Mandalorian actually are meaningful to the plot. So I just love how they weave them in. They weave them as part of the story, even though if they may not be as essential. But, for instance, the Sand People riding single file, that line from A New Hope. You see that in this. When he's on the Sandcrawler, you just see kind of, it all makes sense. You see Boba Fett's armor. There's a couple little things in there too. The R5-D4 with the blown out motivator in the back. So that's really cool. When the character wearing Boba Fett's armor sat down and introduced himself as Cobb Vanth, that's where I started to really lose it, because I says, wow, they're really tying in this. However you feel about the canon novels, there are some really cool things in there, and even expanded universe. And they are bringing some of that in, and it makes sense. And I just thought it was so cool. I mean, there's you get chills when you see that Boba Fett's armor, someone wearing it. You see it again on screen. It's just really amazing. So, as a kid growing up the original trilogy, there was nothing cooler than Boba Fett. So when I saw that armor come on screen again, and the helmet with the dent in it, and the digital readout and the insignias, I just lost it. That was so amazing. If you would have told my 5-year-old self when I was a kid that we'd have 2 Mandalorians, one wearing Boba Fett's armor, fighting a crate dragon with sand people, it would have blown my mind, and it really did. They did it so well. The effects really were second level to what we've seen before on, I guess, a television series as opposed to a film. They've really raised the bar. What they can do with the technology, the volume technology, where they can film all these different sets, and it's just so seamless. Now with Season 2 that they're doing that, but it still comes off really seamless. The humor, the character development, and even Baby Yoda thrown in there, or I'm sorry, the child. just adds so much to the experience. So I feel that I'm so excited for the show and where they're going. And of course, that great shot at the end of Tamora Morrison, showing up as Boba Fett. Now, I believe it's Boba Fett. I know people have had other theories, but it would just make sense in the arc of this episode for that to be him. He's got this the Sand People gaffy stick and rifles, so maybe he's living among the Sand People. It's really interesting. And so one thing I want to jump into is what his character, what I think, as far as what I think it might mean as far as the season as a whole. I don't know if we're going to go right back to him. Part of me hopes they do that in or chapter 10, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to let that sit for a little while, but I may be wrong. The cool thing is that Din Djarin is looking for other Mandalorians to help him with his quest, but he also needs to return him to the Jedi. So you think of Mandalorians that have run-ins with the Jedi. You think of Boba Fett and Luke. You think of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan with his father Jango Fett, and his hatred for the Jedi for seeing them kill his father, as Mace Windu actually decapitated his father in the arena in Geonosis. And I know in some of the Clone Wars episodes that Boba Fett was in, you see that his hatred for the Jedi. So it's interesting, and of course his run-in with Luke, who is out there now trying to start his Jedi Academy or whatever he's doing now to get things started. So it's very exciting because they have a lot of potential to bring characters in. So there's that connection between the Mandalorians and the Jedi. But there's also Sabine Wren and Ahsoka. So they can go that route as well. And they're all around right now. I don't know exactly at the end of Rebels when Sabine and Ahsoka went out to look for Ezra. They weren't very clear as to how long after Endor that was, so they may show up, and from some of the rumors that I've heard, it looks like Rosario Dawson is coming to play Ahsoka, so that should be really interesting. So I have a feeling in the next couple of chapters that's gonna be revealed. I think that if Ahsoka, as everyone is saying, is part of Season 2, I think they're going to go for that. And of course we saw that Waterworld, there's a tie-in with Kamino, so maybe Boba Fett has, if saying it is Kamino, we saw on the, that scientist, he had the Kamino insignia on him. So maybe, of course, Boba Fett has a history in Kamino, so very excited to see where this is going. Haven't been this excited in a long time. I just feel like every week they're hitting it out of the park, so I think it's going to be great. So comment below, subscribe if you haven't, comment what you thought of the episode, if you have any theories or anything we could talk about. So I'm hoping to do this every week. I know people have been pushing me to put something on every week, so I'm going to be doing this and hopefully some other stuff talking about other Star Wars topics. So hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. May the Force be with you.